Hey guys, good morning. This is Rusty78609, Monday, October the 30th, 2017 at 10:15 a.m. Temperature 62 degrees. Beautiful day, and I'm on my way, so to speak. And what we're going to talk about this morning is I did the video and posted the video the other day about the outside of my RV, and a lot of people liked that setup, having a RV or home base with an RV under a cover and a patio and on some land, and I had a lot of questions related to it. So I know I've touched on this before, but we'll kind of go down the trail again because I had some questions about how I got my place, how could they find a place, what were the costs, blah blah blah. So anyway, let's touch on that, how to find a home base and what will it cost you in Rusty's opinion, which is worth nothing, and that's what you're going to pay for it, nothing. So here we go. Locating a spot, that's step one. Okay, so first you got to pick an area that you think you might like to live, hopefully will like to live. All right, that's step one. Once you've located an area of the USA that you feel like you might enjoy the climate, etc., then start boiling it down. Calculatus, eliminatus. What do I mean by that? First, you got to eliminate the places that you cannot park an RV. There's no sense wasting time on going into a gated community looking for a lot. Ain't gonna happen. Okay, so you know that that's out. So that eliminates some of it right there. Inside of city limits, difficult, very difficult. You might be able to find a city lot that is not restricted against RVs, but I doubt it. Okay, so that means you're going to be outside in the county. Then you need to find out what the county guidelines are as to parking an RV for a long period of time. Now, you don't want to tell them that you're living in it, you just want to tell them you're parking it there for a long period of time. Okay, because living in it kind of throws a whole new kink into the universe. But if you just tell them you're going to park it there for an extended period, maybe store it, or you can come up with something, whatever you want, then find out what the county guidelines and state there are going to be, I don't think you're going to have any state issues, but you will have some county issues, maybe. Once you've found out what those issues are that you need to overcome, or option two, the areas that you can park an RV in for an extended period of time, then start search. That's you've narrowed your target down where you can almost hit it now. So then you start looking in those specific zones that you might want to park your RV, and by that I mean you go driving through them. Now you can do Zillow and all these other things, realestate.com, but you're not going to see all the property that's available. A lot of property that is available, but it just doesn't have a for sale sign on it. It may be tied up in a trust, an estate, or the owner died and the kids inherited it and they don't even know they have it. You run into all kind of stuff. So what you do then is you drive into an area where you can park an RV. That's one. You've located the spot where you can, or spots where you can park an RV. Drive into that area and locate a specific location that you like. Okay, maybe 5 or 6 if you can. Then go to, in Texas, you go to the county appraisal district, and I don't know what you go to in other states, probably something similar, I'm not sure. You go to the appraisal district and you say, look, I've located some property out here. I sure would like to find out who the owner is. And they'll ask you the general area or the name of the subdivision or what off-county road, what. You know, they want to, you're going to have to give them some kind of directions. If you have the GPS info, that would be very helpful. Then they can go right to it more than likely. Once they've gone to it, they can tell you who owns that property. Then you can contact that individual by, sometimes they'll even give you the phone number if they have it on record at the county appraisal district, or most certainly they'll give you the individual's name. then you can contact that individual and find out, number one, if they would consider selling it. Most people will, you know, if they're not using it. Some people won't. Some people say, no, we're just going to hang on to it for no known reason, other than they know they can make more money later. But every now and then, like I did, I found a blank piece of land, no sign on it, and I found out who owned it. And I called the guy, and he actually owned 4 lots there. And so it ended up, I bought all of them. And they were very reasonable. I paid an average of $12.50 a lot, which is nothing. But they didn't have anything. There was no water, no electric, no septic, no nothing. There was a paved road that went in front of it, which was plus. The biggest plus for that piece of property was it backed up to a ranch. Okay, I hear a little rattling, but I'm sorry. Maybe I can stop it. But anyway. I hear it. I know I'm a fanatic about rattles, aren't I? Anyway, we'll go on. But anyway, once so you've located it, you're talking to the owner, and you ask the owner straight out, you know, if he says he's willing to sell it, then ask him what the deed restrictions are. Is it restricted against parking an RV there? 9 times out of 10, if it's in the county, and there's, you know, if you see RVs around or mobile homes, then you're good to go. And so then the next thing you're going to have to find out is, do they have a community water supply? If they do, how much is it to hook on? How much is it going to cost you to get electrical to that property? And that can be quite expensive if there are no utility poles nearby. Now, you can go completely to solar if you choose to and be completely off-grid, depending on what climate you have selected. If it's a reasonable year-round climate, you'll probably do all right. But if you're going to do it in Texas, you're going to have electrical power, because you're going to have to run an air conditioner a lot. Okay? And what else? So that takes care of, you've located the property, you know how to locate it now, you know the steps, okay? And what else? Power, we talked about that. Solar or have electrical power, but you know, if you have to have electricity to keep comfortable, be sure you check out the cost of that, because it can be very, very, very expensive to get them to come out and put some power poles in and run electricity to your property. So next step, water. If you go off grid all the way, you can do water catchment and haul water, and you're good to go. Get you a composting toilet, all that sort of stuff, or do like I did for a while. I just hauled my poop to the trash dump every now and then, and I lived there for 2 years without power or water. Okay, but I did have a generator which I used to run a little window air conditioner during the day when it was really hot, and then at night, 9 times out of 10, even in the summer, it would be almost cool enough so I'd cut the generator off. But I managed to do that for a couple of years. Anyway, next step, if you need water and you're not going to do the water catchment, or you don't feel like it worked for you, then you're going to have either a water well or hook up to the community water supply. And so you need to know how much that's going to cost. How much will it cost? It cost me about $1,000 to hook up to the water supply, and then it cost me another $800 to do some plumbing and stuff, trenching and stuff up to the RV. The electrical cost me with the thing you put on the power pole. I can't remember what it's called right now, but anyway, you have to have it available. The utility company puts it on the pole, and they hook up the power box. That total round numbers for that was about $2,500 for all the electrical. And but now, if you don't have a community water supply, you're out in a rural area and there is no water supply available, then if you're not going to do water catchment, you're going to have to do water well. And water well prices, you know, that nobody can tell you that number. Nobody. Okay? Because it varies so much area by area. Some places, if it's just, you know, clay and stuff, you know, they can drill right through it and find you some water pretty quick, about 80 to 120 feet. Otherwise, I've had water wells go down to over 300 feet that I've had drilled, and they can be a little pricey, particularly up here in this area where you've got granite. They'll drill through it. Don't think they won't. They'll drill right through that granite and find you some water. And but that can be a little pricey. That could cost you anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 just to get a water well, a good one, because you got to add some stuff, you know, pressure tank and gauge and stuff. And what else? You also have to have power to run that pump. You could use a windmill or system like that, but if you want something reliable, you're going to need electricity or good solar, reliable solar, plenty of solar. What else? Now you've got water, now you've got electric, septic, if you need one. Now, you know, so if you're out in the county and it's unrestricted property, more than likely you're on your own on that. You can do a cesspool, which basically you just run it out on top of the ground, and if you treat the water with some of the chemicals that that are used in RV toilets or in the black water, you won't have an odor issue or a bug mosquito issue at all. You won't even know it's there. What else? So you got the water, electric, septic. As to the cover, if you decide to do a cover and a deck, the cover from eaglecarports.com that I got is 18 by 26, and it's about 10 feet high. The center height is 2.5 feet higher than the leg length, so it's 12 and a half feet at the center point. And of course you'll have to do all those measurements yourself to be sure that you can get your RV up under there. The only problem you'll ever have, if you get a motorhome, motorhomes are very, very, very tall, okay? And so you have to be careful that you get the cover tall enough. As far as the deck materials for I think I've got a, 15 by 18, and the deck materials cost me about $900, and you can just add another $900 for labor, so you're looking at round numbers, $2,000 for a 15 by 18 foot deck, completely installed and ready to sit on, okay? And so those are the numbers, guys. Now, step one, of course, is finding it. But the easiest part of it is, if you just think about it, you use common sense, the easiest, the most difficult part, back up a minute, is going to be finding a place that's unrestricted, or there are no restrictions for you to park your RV. That's the first hurdle. And once you get over that, everything else will flow pretty smoothly, okay? And is it cheap way to live? Hell. My electricity bill runs me $40 a month, average year round. My water bill is $60 a month for 2,000 gallons. I rarely use over 300. What else? But it doesn't go down. That's the minimum. You know, they just charge you a flat rate whether you use water or not. And electricity, again, you know, they charge you an availability fee of $22.50 where I am, and I use about $20 a month worth of electricity, so it turns out to be about $42 a month. And but I live very frugally. Living like I do in the RV on the place that I own enables me to live very, very comfortably on my Social Security and what I make from YouTube. And that's what life's all about. You want to live comfortably without having to put in a lot of effort, because if you have to put in a lot of effort to survive, then you end up on the treadmill of life where you're the hamster, okay? You're just on the hamster wheel running in circles and you're never getting ahead. And I'm able at this point, and for a few years, I've been able to save money even on my meager Social Security. So, you know, it's doable, and it's doable by a lot of people. It's just, it's thinking outside the box. You know, a lot of people are, I mean, I was in it, hell, up until age 40. Well, when I got my last divorce, 1987, let's see, actually we parted in 1986. Let's see, I was 41. Yeah, 41. And that's when the sky opened up for me. It was difficult. It was a little thunderstorm at first, but it got better and better and better because I realized I needed less and less and less. And as I realized that, I didn't have to do as much. And so I got very comfortable living the free life, and I have done it for 31 years, okay? Well, basically, I'd say probably 25 really enjoyable free spirit years, okay? The early part of it was, there were some bumps in the road because, I didn't have any direction. I didn't have any guidance. There was no YouTube to go check out stuff. You had to basically just dig it out. So, and I wasn't even aware that, people lived in RVs full time. I didn't know anybody that had an RV. I had never known anybody that had an RV. and that's it. So, there was no direction for me. But now you guys have access to YouTube. You can watch a million different videos about a million different types of RVs and camping methodologies and so forth. So the information is there. It's just a matter of digging it out. And so, it's something that's worth exploring. It is. Now, another option is, no home base. The reason I have a home base is because, for me, it makes the whole thing work, okay? It's very comfortable to know that, if I get tired of being out on the road, I can go back to my, quote, home base, and it's actually home. I mean, I've got, of course, a P.O. box in Kingsland and mail delivery at my house, and, it's just, I know where to go shopping and all that. Everything's predictable, and believe me, we always like predictability. It just makes life enjoyable to know where things are, okay? It's like me moving into this new RV, moving from the 26-foot Jayco to the 16-foot Coachman. Quite a transition because everything's in a different location. The refrigerator's in a different spot, the restroom's in a different spot, my clothes are in different locations, I have to reach a different direction, and the TV's a different size now. I got a 19 inch as opposed to 32. And everything's it's just been a change. Is it good or bad? I think it's great. Less is more for me, and I enjoy it. Again, I'm 72 years old. I'm kind of out here in La La Land, and a lot of you guys are younger, and so you're looking at life from a different perspective, and you got to respect that. And that's one of the hardest things to do in life is to respect and try to understand the other person's point of view, and that's where we are with this video. Is my point of view right now is that living the way I live is the greatest thing since fried chicken, and there are people that call me trailer trash, okay? And does it bother me? Hell no, man. I mean, I know some people that used to hang out in a little, quote, country club like bar up here in Central Texas, and I used to go there every now and then and have a drink because it was a nice place, and you can pick up some nice conversation because these people could actually read and write without colored crayons, and it was enjoyable. And one night this lady came in that I knew that lived in a mobile home. Her husband had passed away, and she came by, and I said, "Hey," her name was Judy. I said, "Judy, I'm sorry to hear about so and so." And anyway, she told me that he'd been ill for a while, and she walked off. And this fellow at the table, this arrogant prick, older fellow, wealthy, says, "What are you doing talking to that trailer trash?" Okay, he didn't know I lived in an RV and had lived in an RV for 20 plus years at that time. Trailer trash. What the hell is that? Anyway, enough said about that. But for you guys that are looking for a home base similar to what I have, all I have to tell you is, number one, good luck. But number two, nothing gets done unless you start. How many of you have actually started looking? Logically looking, not just dreaming. I mean, if you want to get to something, you got to go at it logically. Okay, where do I want to live? What kind of climate do I want? Do I want trees, or do I want forest? Do I want desert? Do I want dry? Do I want humid? Do I want nearby ocean, lakes? Do I fish? Do I hunt? Kind of boil it down to what you need, and the next thing you know, you'll be underway, and then it's just a matter of nailing down a spot. And they're out there, man. There's a lot of land in this world. You get into places like Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, maybe parts of Utah and Colorado. I'm not sure, but up into Wyoming, Montana, Oregon, and places. I guarantee you, man, there's a whole world out there. There's a lot of land. A lot of it's government land, I admit, and it may be hard to find a spot, but they're there. I guarantee you. If I wanted to, I could find another spot within 6 months. It'd take me a while, but I bet I could. But anyway, enough said about that. Moving on now to gasoline prices in Central Texas. $2.19 right there at Sunoco. Do I need gasoline? Yeah, I guess I better. So I'm pulling into Wally World and get some, but again, man, there's a whole world out there, guys, and there's a whole world out there of happiness and good life. But you got to stand guard at your mind and not let the media talking heads climb in there and get you concerned about Donald Trump being a Russian or crap like that, or some entertainer or whatever out in California that had patted a girl on the rear end. What the hell is that? You know, is that news? Shit, no. That's a waste of energy to even hear it. So stand guard at the door of your mind, focus on your target, and use calculatus, eliminatus, and find a good place for you. Find you a place to put a smile on your face. Well, they must be, it's 2:19 here, and I'm gonna pull in. I just saw a car pull up. So I'm gonna pull in behind this guy since I'm an absolute lady, since I'm in no hurry, and park this truck right behind her. I'm in no hurry, lady, so don't panic. But anyway, guys, from Central Texas, USA, this has been Rusty 78609 giving you some info about how to find a home base. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy USA made when you can. See those snowbirds right over here? You know, this is that time of the year. This place will be pretty crowded. Now, as long as people don't abuse the privilege, Walmart will continue that. But there's a guy over here living in the parking lot, okay, and I hate that. But anyway, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy USA made when you can. Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day will not hurt you. It will actually help you avoid gout, kidney stones, and help you lose weight. Help you lose weight because you'll be full of water and you won't want to eat. Okay, next thing, eat less if you can. Next thing, take deep breaths, breathe in deeply through your nose and hold it for a few seconds and then out through your mouth. Why? Because that relieves stress, and relieving stress does what? Lowers your blood pressure. Lowering your blood pressure is good for you. Trust me on that. Check it out. And anyway, with that in mind, guys, things are good. Puff the Magic Dragon's good, and I hope you guys can locate you a good spot. And for those of you that use the Amazon link in the videos that I do, I put it in the description. I get a little commission off of that. If you use that link, it doesn't cost you any more, so it's a win-win. So use it if you think about it, and if you don't think about it, no problemo. Anyway, guys, adios, bye-bye.